Well, guys, it looks like Anchor Babies got some very, very, very bad news today. Because, guys, you remember when President Trump came into office, he signed an executive order ending birthright citizenship. Now, folks, I think it's utterly ridiculous that the United States has quote unquote birthright citizenship. Because believe it or not, guys, almost every country in the world does not have that. Now, there's actually stipulations when it actually comes to birthright citizenship here in the United States. If you have a foreign dignitary, like an ambassador or something like that, and they give birth to a kid here in this country, that kid is not a U.S. citizen. No. But for some reason, guys, if you have an illegal alien that crossed that border and a woman's pregnant and she gives birth, that kid becomes a U.S. citizen. And also, by the way, the parent, the mother, gets government funded welfare from taxpayers, even though she's not a citizen. It makes absolutely no sense, guys. I believe that the 14th Amendment has been abused. It has. Because if you guys know your history, the 14th Amendment was really about newly freed slaves. It gave them citizenship, not some illegal alien crossing the border, or not someone that just came over here, has no ties to the country, made a visit or whatever. They give birth to a kid and then bam, you're a citizen. That's not the way it's supposed to work. And it shouldn't work like that. Now, of course, Trump has had these organizations or whatever challenge his executive order in court. And the reason why President Trump actually really signed that executive order, folks, he knew it was going to get challenged. And he knew that probably the Supreme Court was actually going to take it up. And now it's official. The Supreme Court of the United States has taken it up. And folks, I got to be honest. I think there's a great chance that birthright citizenship is going to end. No doubt about it. Because we're not supposed to be giving citizenship to people that come to the country, have kids. Those kids aren't supposed to be citizens. They're not. It makes absolutely no sense. Birthright citizenship is a rarity. And the United States seems to be one of the only countries in the world that's doing it. Makes absolutely no sense, man. But let's go ahead and dive into this. Here we go. Right over here. U.S. Supreme Court to decide on legality of Trump birthright citizenship order. And folks, this is probably going to be one of the biggest rulings by the Supreme Court of my lifetime. Because this is definitely going to end the scam of bringing people into the country who are actually illegal, and they give birth to kids and say, all right, you got citizenship. Now you can actually get welfare. You can actually get food stamps. That scam is going to end if the Supreme Court rules the way that I think they're actually going to rule. I think that this birthright citizenship thing is going to get struck down. I think it's over with. So they're going to hear it. I don't know exactly when they're actually going to do the hearing, but they're probably going to rule, I don't know, sometime in May, maybe on it. Not really sure. But right here it says the U.S. Supreme Court agreed on Friday to decide the legality of Donald Trump's order to heavily restrict the right to birthright citizenship in the United States. Trump's executive order banning the constitutional right to U.S. citizenship for almost everyone born on American soil was signed just hours after the U.S. president took office for a second term and was immediately challenged in court. I believe Trump actually expected that. The order was a contentious part of his efforts to curb immigration and a step that would transform the interpretation of the 19th century constitutional provision. Multiple judges across the country filed injunctions blocking the order. Trump then took to the Supreme Court to fight the injunctions. In a major decision in June, the court ruled that injunctions by lower courts that became effectively nationally were exceeding their given authority. Yeah, these lower courts trying to circumvent the president, that's not what they're supposed to be doing. But it did not address the legality of the birthright citizenship ban itself. The justices on Friday announced they would take up a Justice Department appeal of a lower court's ruling that blocked Trump's executive order telling U.S. government agencies not to recognize citizenship of children born in the U.S. if neither parent is an American citizen or legal permanent resident. Yeah, and I believe that's the only way that people should actually get citizenship. If one of the parents is definitely a U.S. citizen and permanent resident. Think of this, guys. If you're just here as a tourist, okay, you're here legally, you're here touring. You don't go to Disney World or something like that. And then you give birth to a kid. Shouldn't that kid have automatic citizenship? No. But I am curious about though, guys. If the court rules in Trump's favor, which I think they will, how would it actually all break down? As far as like, all right, it's just like going from here on out that if someone is in a country, you're not a citizen, they give birth, that kid's not a citizen. Or they're going to go back and retroactively, I guess you can say, I don't know if denaturalize is even the word, take away citizenship from other people that were given citizenship just because their parents were in the country, even if they were actually here illegally. I don't know how they're actually going to rule on that particular thing. I don't know what's going to happen with that whatsoever, but I do believe that Supreme Court is going to strike this down. I really do. Because I actually saw it right here, man. Nick Sortor put it out right here that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear this. Now, this is a CNN clip right here, guys. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
Joan.
Supreme Court just this minute, Brianna, announced it's going to take up challenge to President Trump's order lifting birthright citizenship. You might remember on January 20th, his first day in office, he took his Sharpie pen and he said, this is a big one. And what he did was he tried to eliminate the automatic birthright citizenship that all Americans have had for more than a century. And what that does, it goes to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. That means that anyone who's born here, Brianna, automatically becomes a U.S. citizen. And what Donald Trump's executive order tried to do was say anyone who was born of someone who was not here lawfully or who was here on some sort of temporary status, that person's baby would not automatically be a citizen. It's a very, it's probably of all the Trump actions that have been taken to date.
Yeah, this sounds pretty much like a layup to me. Okay. If you're in the country unlawfully, no way in the world should your kid automatically become a citizen. It makes absolutely no sense. And this ruling by the Supreme Court, man, is going to be huge. It's going to be transformative, I believe. I believe it's going to end the scam of, because one of the reasons why, guys, illegal immigration actually happens. These illegals come in and have kids. And those kids become citizens. It makes it very, very hard then to actually tell these illegal alien parents, hey, you got to go back. Because those quote unquote U.S. citizen kids are going to be vouching for them. And guess what? More than likely, they're going to be supporting Democrats because Democrats want those illegal alien parents to stay here. And that's another reason, too, why I believe it needs to end is because the loyalties of these children of illegal aliens, they live in another country. It makes absolutely no sense. It really does. So this is huge, guys. This is huge right here. I believe that the anchor baby scam is about to end. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.